that only is accepted based off of what they want to teach us. Um, I think there was only one school that actually helped me, and it was my second year. I think it was my second year of high school. And my second year of high school, um, sorry, 1 minute. Um, Second year of high school, my computer teacher, and I had this computer teacher as my grammar school art teacher, which was so surprising that she came in as a computer teacher. Oh, my back. Um, and she she showed us how to look for a car. She showed, and this was just like how to prepare, like what it's gonna look like, right? And then how much we could afford, how much our insurance was. Like she did all of this for us. Like she actually made all of us pick a car that we liked, and then she did the breakdown of what it would be, how much we would have to make in order to pay for this car and insurance. And that's not even including like the fees and this and that and whatever. And so we had a little reality check, right? We're like, damn, we can't be aiming high for like no freaking Mercedes or something like that realistically, once we get out of high school. Um, we it actually taught me something. It actually prepared me for something. So that's like one of the very few things that I could say. Um, a lot of things were kind of just a waste of my time, to be honest. I think that's the reason why a lot of us that are very in tune, um, that have, uh, need I say it, that have a soul, right? A lot of us, we realize early on that there are some things that just, they don't resonate. So we didn't like school, you know. Um, I I'm telling you, there was a lot of times where I kind of felt like I would fall asleep in school. Um, but I honestly feel like it was because the things that don't resonate with you kind of put you to sleep. Or it could have just literally been my spirits that were just like, yo, this means nothing to us. So, not that I would fall asleep, but it would make me tired. Like I wouldn't be interested. I wouldn't want to go to school, whatever. So see, this is me going through tangents, but whatever. We're just gonna get through it. Let's circle back. So after the ex had realized that he literally has a pirate, the pirate spirit kind of came through and spoke through him, and he was still conscious of that. It made him want to reflect internally even more so. That was like one of the best things, right? Um, but then, like I was saying, we have to be asking the right questions. So, like, who am I? We always start there. Who am I? What energies do I hold? Like, spirit, show me who I am. Give me clues to who I am. I also think that if you're not actively doing the research, then it becomes a little harder. So, before I actually started being able to kind of read energies, I was researching my ass off. I was researching a lot. I was researching anything, everything, anything that popped into my mind. I wanted to kind of just figure out what that was. Why was it popping in my mind? A lot of it is symbols. So the universe works in symbols, symbology. I think that's a good place for people to start, even though that's a vast category. But symbology is a good way to start associating things together. Now, the reason why I put 13 keys of self is because we're going to get into this right now. So, self and who we are, right? So, that's an association to me, 13 keys of self. That's me. Now, the reason why I put that in the title is because I have a attunement with 13. So much so that I have something that I wear every day that has this number on it. And I won't say what it is, but it's in the title, right? So I researched, 13, and a few things came up. But one thing stood out in particular. Actually, two things. I was just too tired to look at the second one, but the first one was like key, enter key. So it's a 13 key code was considered the enter key. Interesting. Enter, like to go in. But also I think of commands. When you put anything in a computer and you press enter, enter is the command. You know what I'm saying? So not only was I realizing, okay, if enter is the 13th key code, then that means that everything that I speak as a command. Just one thing, right? Now, the other thing that I was going to share was the 13th alphabet, which is the Jewish alphabet, and that came up. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share that now real quick. Let me see if I can do that. Ooh, looky. All right. So let me see. I have to do it from here. And this was the one. So we're going to go into this real quick because this gave me a lot of insight. So, mem. Now, I tapped into none, but that's a different topic for a different day. And so mem is the 13th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Now, I'm giving credit to Shabbat.org and Google, of course. So I don't have any copyright infringement. And I could leave this on the bottom in the I can leave this website in the description below if anyone wants to see it. So I started kind of reading through. First thing that caught my eye was, oh, look, it references 40, but it also references water. Now, this is significant, and I'm going to tell you why. So let me just go down a little bit. The reason that that's, to me, is so significant because before I actually started researching this, I started realizing, well, I had a dream prior to that, and it had to do with water. But it was before, so like I looked this up the night before. I saw that mem was the 13th letter. It came up on my Google search, but I went to sleep without even looking into this. And so I woke up, looked this up, and boom, I had dreamt of water. Now, I don't want to give away everything of my dream, but it was significant and it had to do with water. And another thing, you guys, is that water is significant. Obviously we know water is significant. I'm kind of just in my thoughts right now, so just give me a moment to kind of go through, because there's so many things that I'm thinking about right now. But in my dream, it was significant. So it was me in a body of water. That's all I'll say as far as that goes. But it was me viewing something, and it was in a body of water. And it's so wild because when I came here, I started reading, and it says that there are two forms of mem. One is open and one is closed. And as the Talmud explains, the open mem represents the revealed Torah, and the closed mem reveals the Torah's secrets. Now, let's go through this a little bit. All right, this is what I wanted to read right here. So, additionally, the mem represents the womb. Let me repeat that. The mem represents the womb, which ends with a closed mem, right? Now, they just said that there was two mems, one open, one closed. So the closed mem is the womb, but the closed mem represents the 9 months when the womb is closed. So now we're seeing an association to water, like the womb. And the open mem represents the period of childbirth when the womb is open. So mem actually goes back to the womb. Now, I started reading more of this, and I thought that this was interesting. Now, we'll go ahead and I'll just kind of like briefly get through some of this. I won't read it all. But basically, it's talking about mem and the number 40, its association to the number 40. Now, in the Bible, it speaks a lot about, 40, and this is all of the accounts for the number 40 in the Bible. So one of the biggest things is that, here, let's do it like this. Okay. So one of the associations here is that Moses went to Mount Sinai 3 different times for 40 days. Interestingly enough, right? It kind of speaks on what he did, whatever. I'm not really interested in that. What I am interested in is the association to 40 days 3 different times. So I think in the Bible, it only just says that he was gone for 40 days. It didn't say that he took 3 trips, 40 days at a time. That's in the Jewish, I think that's in the Torah or the Talmud. And so that's when so the first 40 sojourn took when you received the Torah. He brought them back to Sinai for the third and final 40 and gave the 10 commandments. It was the 10th of the month of, okay, you guys, I'm going to ruin these words, but I apologize in advance. Tishri, when Moses came down from the mountain. And I'm still trying to understand why they don't have a vowel in here, but I think that's going to be pretty significant for the Jewish community. Law after these, final 40 days. So again, this is his 3rd time. So I just kind of skipped through it. You guys can go ahead and look it up. I'm trying to just go straight to the points that I want to make based off of this and why this is kind of very significant for me, but not just for me. So let's see. Now, I always wanted to understand what was Yom Kippur. And this just clarified it for me this morning because I did all this research this morning. So he says, and I guess this is what, the God in the Talmud says. It says that God declared, I have forgiven the Jewish people as you have asked. And this was Moses. Moses asked for forgiveness of the people. But he prayed for the people for 40 days. Before that, he went up to Mount Sinai for 40 days so that he could receive. So Moses actually ascended the mountain 3 separate times. The first 40 days, he received the Torah. He came down with the tablets shattered. He saw that the people were they were idolizing this golden calf. And then that made him go back up to the mountain to pray on their behalf of the people and ask for forgiveness, right? And so then when he came back down, it says that God called out for him to return back up to the mountain and get these tablets. And so then it was so that when I guess he had dug up 2 sapphire stones, and those were the sapphire stones apparently that he used for the 10 Commandments. Never heard of that in the Bible, you guys. So this was very interesting. But this is why I say, there are facets to truth. Like, we have to be willing to open up ourselves to all of these facets and be able to bring all of that together, however we put the pieces together. Now it will become refined, once you start to do more research and whatever the case may be. But I'm not getting into whether this is accurate or anything. I'm getting into the fact that he went to Mount Sinai for 40 days, 3 times. What does that sound like? It sounds like a trimester. A trimester that goes back to the womb. Plain and simple. That's all I wanted to show you guys based off of that. I'm sorry, right here. Boom. But we know that 9 months is a trimester. It's 3, 3, and 3. 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. So again, look at 40 comes out as 40, 40, 40. Funny enough, didn't I just say that in the beginning, 444 was the first thing that I had tapped into based off of myself. And then as I progressed in my own journey, I realized that the elevation of 4 was 13. And so this is how it kind of shows me back in my own way how 13 has an association to 444. But, that's just me. This is how I view it. This is how I break it down. You guys don't have to see it my way. I'm just sharing what I find. So, okay, so this was Yom Kippur. So if anyone has ever seen in our calendars or whatever, Yom Kippur always comes up, and I've never knew what the hell it was until now. The culmination of these 3 40-day periods, the 10th of, like I said, I don't know this word. Jewish words are really different. So Tishrei or Tishrei, Yom Kippur is thus the day, it says, as Jewish people fast and pray for the atonement of their sins. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But we can move on. So there was one other thing. I mean, I read all of this. They're talking about like a ritual bath. Moses' spies scouted the land for 40 days. The Jews were in the desert for 40 years. A ritual bath is made up of 40 se'ah. I don't know what that is, so look it up if you guys are interested. But this is the main thing that I wanted to speak on right here. What is the concept of 40? 40 represents a metamorphosis, a transformation. Oh, Lord. Now, I don't know if anyone has ever looked at the tarot, right? If anyone has ever looked at the tarot, you will see that there is an association to transformation, but also death. Death is what we would consider transformation. Now, this right here in Mem is literally talking about what the association of 40 is. 40 is a transformation. Every time that Moses went to Mount Sinai, there was something that was being transformed. That's his whole aspect of going there for 40 days. He was transforming the energies. He was transforming whatever it was that he needed to do. And then he had to come back, right? Peaks and valleys, you guys. That also sounds like, what is it? It also sounds like frequency, like a wavelength, right? Okay, just stay with me. So let me go back real quick. So transformation. Now, this right here, this one word is what 13 really goes by. 13 is transformation. But do you see how the association of 4, 4, 4, 40, 40, 40, we can just take the 0 out, right? That also associates with transformation. Now there was some more things like the flood. Oh, you god. Okay. Family, listen up. This is significant. God brought a flood upon this world for 40 days and 40 nights. The waters of the flood were not for revenge, as it is commonly assumed, but for atonement, to purify and transform. Again, what were we speaking of? Transformation, right? To transform the world. I don't know what that is. That was not my interest. My interest was not looking up all of these Jewish words. It was just following the energy. Again, here we go. Transformation. So, the main thing that I get out of this when I'm looking things up is what stands out to me based off of the energies. And 40 is transformation. Hell, if you even want to go back to it, what is the womb? The womb represents, mem represents, or the closed mem represents 9 months in the womb, the closed womb, right? But that's transformation. When the baby comes out, it's fully transformed. When the baby grows up, it's transforming. So transforming as like evolving. But there is something that starts off one way and it transforms into something different, whether that be continually to transform. I think this is the reason why Transformers was so freaking popular, is because we're now just seeing that like transformation is what we would consider death energy. Like, I'm not even playing, you guys. And sorry, I need to get out of that little lingo. I need to start saying family, because not everyone is a dude or a guy on here. So I apologize. So, did I? Okay, wait, I'm trying to see. Here. La la la. Let's go back. Oh no, I passed it. So, Mem represents the womb. In essence, water is the womb of creation. Did we just hear that? The Torah begins in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And the next verse states that before God created the heavens and the earth, the Spirit of God hovered over the waters. What waters? Since the earth's waters had not yet been created, the waters mentioned here are the womb from which creation emerged. This is in the Torah. Interesting. You know, it's very interesting that the Torah mentions the womb. However, have you noticed that in the Bible it does not mention anything of any sorts? And this is why I wanted to go back to what 13 actually references. You know, if you look deep enough, you'll tend to find the answers. And what's the missing aspect in all of this? That the Bible, right? There's so many aspects that are missing, that everything that is missing is everything that is feminine in that in the aspect of the Bible. Like, the Holy Spirit would be Sophia, but they don't even show that or it reference anything like that. The Holy Spirit would be the mother energy, right? You have a father, you have a son, but you have a mother, and the mother has been taken away. Again, if we go back and we look, what are the waters? The waters are the waters mentioned here are the womb from which creation emerged. The place of gestation before the world came into existence. Okay, family. If I just read that correctly, this is saying that the womb is what created the world. So, why is it that the Talmud or the Torah, right, has this like understanding, but Christians and Catholics don't have the same understanding? It's really wild to me. And all it takes is just a little research. Now, I don't know what that is, mikveh, and I may be saying it wrong, so I apologize again. I'm not trying to upset anyone or offend anyone by the pronunciations. I'm not Jewish, so I apologize. This is strictly within my research and within the energies that I tend to put things together. But I'm reading here, when one immerses in a mikvah, it is similar to entering the womb of creation, a state of the world yet unborn. At the moment when the person emerges, he or she is reborn. So I'm going to assume that we said mikvah was a ritual bath in the beginning. And so that's what they're kind of explaining here. a rebirth, right? But again, when you think of reborn, only a womb can birth life. Let's not get this twisted. Only a womb can birth life. And it just said it here, in which creation emerged. So yeah, these were just some of my findings. I'll definitely put this link in my description, just in case you guys want to go back to it. It wasn't hard at all. I literally just Googled 13 Aleph bet. Aleph. It says alphabet, or you can just Google this mem. There's so many different things. There was one more thing that I kind of wanted to touch base on. It's not that. I'm trying to see, did I pass it? I think I passed it. Wow. Look at this. It says a Jew without Torah is like a fish without water. Torah is also compared to water because water travels unaltered from the top of a mountain to its lower tiers and valleys. Wow, that's freaking wild, because I said peaks and valleys, you guys, even before, and I didn't read this before. But yeah. Where is the part that it was talking about? I think I have to go up. I do. So here, there's so much information here. There's something that was talking about. It may have been on a different website, but it was talking about 13 and about how there were 13 people sitting at the Last Supper. There was 13, yeah. It was a different one. But this is the one that I got the most information on. Interesting how it's called Letters of Light. Illumination, you guys. Family, my bad. Anyways, it's an hour and 8 minutes. I pretty much said what I wanted to say. I pretty much, showed the association and why 13 is actually really powerful. Funny enough, it showed me that what I was questioning, it gave me the answer. Remember, it starts with a question. Ask the right questions and you shall get the right answers. Ask the right questions, you shall seek the answers. Whatever. However you want to associate that. But yeah, I think I'm good here. I think we're going to stop here for now. I haven't been on here in a while, so I think I did exactly what I came here to do as far as putting out what I wanted, as far as the message. Find out who you are, ask the right questions. Again, 13 Keys of Self was actually in reference to me, but it's in reference to not just me, it's reference to every one of us. And so one of the key things going forward about 13 is that there's many references, but you can take all of the references in today's video. You can take none of them. Totally up to you. However, I would think that some of the references when we were speaking on 13 was water, transformation, and the womb. I think one of the biggest things would be how I associated in the beginning 444. When I started actually tapping into a higher aspect of 444, it gave me 13. And I kind of associated all of that in today's video. So again, this is to anyone who resonates with it. Hopefully you guys get something out of it. Hopefully, my fellow family members out there receive it. And I will let you guys go. Have a good night. Peace. Take care. And this is just one of many. All right, y'all. Signing off.